What's up, beautiful people? Thank you for joining my channel. I am the Spiritual Bodybuilder, and I am here to give you an update on the lunar eclipse that's happening July 16th at 24 degrees of Capricorn. Let's go. So, this eclipse season is very unique. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, and with the solar eclipse that we had in Cancer, bringing in all this new high vibration energy and allowing us to really dig deep into our heart space. Now we went through this portal in between that 2 weeks of, it was really the sun opposed Saturn that was making us look at our shadow and making us look at the things that we don't really want to feel, right? The things, experiences and situations in our lives that are not in alignment are starting to show themselves, show their face. And, as long as we're willing and able to move forward and look at it and, be honest with ourselves, we're good. But if we're not, then problems will ensue. And here's why. Because this particular partial lunar eclipse is conjuncting Pluto. Now, the planet of Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. It's that deep, dark, subconscious, unconscious part of ourselves, the collective consciousness even. It's the stuff that we don't want to look at. It's that deep, like, fetish kind of energy. It's it's the phoenix rising from the ashes, but deep down, it's the stuff that we might do that we don't want anybody else to know, the secrets, right? It's our secret life that we have, or our secret desires, or the things that we secretly fantasize about or think about, or desire that may not be ethical to the social norm standards. But you know what? We're all human beings, and everybody has something like that to a certain extent, right? We all crave some kind of experience that seems weird or out there to, society. And the people that deny that are lying to themselves, and it will come out in other ways. So when the moon, and bear in mind too, right? We're right in the middle of this. Like we started the beginning of the year with that solar eclipse in Capricorn, and now we're smack in the middle of this growth transformational process that's winding into January 11th of 2020 with the great conjunction of Saturn and Pluto. Okay, so we're right smack in the middle of it. I almost feel like I see like a pendulum, and we're right down, or we swung all the way around, and now we're at the other side. Now we have to come back down to the middle, right? The middle is where the balance is. So this is identifying and digging up, excavating all those deeper parts of our soul and of our subconscious mind that we haven't seen yet, maybe we haven't acknowledged or recognized yet, and bringing it up to take a look. And when that stuff comes up, yeah, it can be painful. All right. But that's going to help us grow to that next level. And with so many layers of energy going on right now, this one is going to, all that stuff that we don't want anybody to know, it's going to come out. And chances are we're not going to see it at first. Right. It's going to hit us in some way, shape, or form that's unexpected, because Pluto is usually an unexpected kind of energy. But it's different than Uranus. Uranus is like the lightning strike, like the aha moment, the epiphany. Oh my God, what the hell is this? Pluto is more like, you're in this certain perspective, and then everything falls apart. And then after everything falls apart, you realize, oh my God, how the hell did I not see that? Right? So the more open-minded we are, and the more open to change we are, the more able that we're going to be able to see this. If we're surrounding ourselves with people that love and care about us and want to see us grow and look at the higher expression of the direction that we're going, and have an appreciation for that, then we are going to have the people that we love keep us in check. We can only see things through our own perspective and point of view. And that's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. relationships are meant to show us and teach us things. And there's an easy way we can do it and a hard way. So let's try to make it the easy way and, take a review of your life right now and look at the people that are in your life that are really close to you. Is there drama? Is there people that you're around that you're just like, you know what, you just don't get me. You just don't get it. And you're never going to get it. Even if it's family, like we got to be true to ourselves. Or are you surrounded with people that every day, you communicate. Communication is everything here. You communicate with each other, conversations might be tough sometimes, but you're honest with each other and you have an appreciation and a gratitude for allowing yourself to be that vulnerable. This is Pluto energy is incredibly vulnerable energy. And, being opposed to the North Node and to the Sun there, you can't get much more vulnerable than that, because Cancer is the divine feminine. It's the heart space. It's the home. So we are taking a look at the parts of ourselves that are not allowing us to be at home in ourselves. And when we take a look at it, it's going to come up. So let's process this stuff and let's grow from it. Journal, write things down, take care of yourself while you're going through this process. And we're going to make some good stuff happen. All right. So let's go to the chart and see what we have going on here. Okay. So the full moon lunar eclipse is happening at 24 degrees and 4 minutes of Capricorn. Now, I also want to point out that Mercury going retrograde, started retrograding at 4 degrees of Leo and is heading back to 24, just barely tapping into 23 degrees. But that 23, 24 degrees is significant because that's also where Pluto went retrograde. Okay, so there's something in here that is very karmic, and it's forcing us to look at the deepest part of ourselves. Really, like we can't go any deeper. This is purging it out. And it's going to bring it out whether we like it or not. And with it being conjunct to the South Node and Saturn, they're about 5 degrees off now, but still with those two planets, the energy is just sort of like it's pulling apart, but it's going to come right back together. All right, so I actually think that that's kind of a good thing, being 5 degrees out. It's giving us a little bit of a break from that tower moment time that's going to come when these two planets, come in contact with each other. All right, so we also have, the sun, of course, is at 24 degrees of Cancer with the North Node at 17 degrees. Now, Venus is at 16 degrees of Cancer, so that's basically conjunct the North Node as well, and it's exactly opposite Saturn at this time. So what does a Venus-Saturn opposition mean, especially in relationship to the full moon being conjunct Pluto opposed the Sun? Well, Venus is the things that we love, right? And Saturn is structure. Like Venus is expansive, and then it's loving and it's exciting. And Saturn is about restriction. It's about structure. It's about mastery. Like we need to look at these things that we don't want to look at to master ourselves. Discipline, go one step at a time, make it happen. So Saturn is forcing Venus to take a look at something within herself. And it's going to be in regards to love, home, family, our emotional being, our emotional state. What do we really want emotionally? And, how do we get it? So with all that being in the same realm, all right, all these energies are blended together, guys. So we're getting really clear, big glimpses of our future, of our destiny, of where we're meant to go, of where we want to go. But it's forcing us to purge out all this stuff that no longer serves us. And it's a rite of passage. Okay, this lunar eclipse is a rite of passage for us to step into our greatness. And especially, I'm sure if people are having massive awakenings right now. This energy to me signifies spiritual awakening, ascension symptoms, dark night of the soul, bring it on. Some of those things suck, but once you make it through, and you'll see, you know, you talk to anybody that has already gone through a lot of this stuff, and, you know, they'll tell you it's the best thing that ever happened. You know what actually reminds me of this movie called The Game with Michael Douglas. It's back in like the 90s. Yes, I'm showing my age right now. But Michael Douglas agreed to play this game. And when he started it, he had no idea what he was getting himself into. And then all of a sudden, these things just start happening. He's like, what the fuck is going on? And crazy things, like he feels like he's being set up, right? And then finally at the end, like where he basically loses shit and, you know, everything goes wrong and just pops. That pop is this lunar eclipse. And then afterwards, it was something to the effect of, at once I was lost, now I am found. And that is the feel of this experience going on. So things may feel jarring, confusing, frustrating, irritable, especially in the middle of a Mercury retrograde. We have 5 planets in retrograde right now. In fact, pretty much just only the personal planets and Uranus are direct. And Uranus is getting ready to go retrograde. So it's starting to slow down. You know, Chiron already went retrograde. We have Saturn, Pluto in retrograde. We have Mercury in retrograde, and Neptune in retrograde. So now another good thing about this is that the Saturn and Neptune sextile is really beneficial for taking what we're dreaming of and bring it into a reality, right? When Neptune and Saturn, they're very opposing energies, but they're having sex, you know? So, hey, let's try this out. Let's make it work. And when they're trying it out, it gives us a clearer vision. But then in contrast to that, we have, you know, Jupiter, which is also retrograde, square to Neptune, which is confusing us, right, within our belief system. So the clarity, it's almost like we're getting these daydreams, and the clarity is there, like, okay, I'm putting the pieces together. I know where I want to go, know what I want to do. I'm motivated, but wait, then I take action, and can I really do this? Am I really good enough? I don't know if I can, you know, figure all this out. I can't clear my head, right? So it requires a certain amount of self-care to keep that confusion at bay. It's going to be there, but we want to be able to take a time out when we have to take a time out. Once we get to that place where we're in a place of analysis paralysis, that's where we want to stop and take a step back. These transits right here all together require us to take a step back and look at the bigger picture every now and then. Whenever we feel overwhelmed, whenever we feel like it's too much and it's too crazy, we take a step back, we look at it for, you know, the bigger picture. Okay, where is this bringing me? And you'll be able to see that, like, or actually feel where it's bringing you, okay? And I think everyone right now has at least one situation in their life that is just sort of tormenting them in a way, right? Like very tumultuous, like working, the Saturn-Pluto conjunction has brought the one thing that's really out of balance in our life, which everybody has at least one thing, for the most part, out of balance. And it's making us look at it and analyze it and get down to the very last detail so that we can purge it and we can balance out our life and live the life that we really desire to live in our heart, okay? And that's going to be a little bit different for everybody. So let's see. We have Neptune is also trine the North Node. Okay, so this Neptune energy is, especially Neptune retrograde, you know, the rose-colored glasses have been taken off, and we're seeing things more clearly. And with this Saturn energy so in the mix of all this being sextile Neptune, it's really influencing that energy. Then bouncing off to the North Node, you know, and essentially it's sextile to the South Node too. You know, we're getting that. We're building that dream in our inner energetic field. Neptune represents like the ethers, like the etheric or astral realm, right? So when anything during the process of manifestation, everything starts in thought or emotion or in some sort of energetic form, right? And as we create these thoughts and they meld into emotions, we create this emotional state that starts to bring it into the 3D where we are our physical reality. So this process of taking things from the ethers, from the energetic realm into the physical realm, is the process that we're learning. We're essentially figuring out how manifestation works and identifying every step along the way. Okay, and you know, in order to do that, we have to be super sensitive to energy, and we have to understand what this energy means to us, how it affects us in our physiology, in our psychology, in our emotional state. So with all that going on top of that, another layer, we have Uranus that is square to Mars and Mercury. Now, Mars and Mercury did this dance where they crisscross, and then they're going to crisscross again here another month. So this energy is sort of blended in together, I feel. And, you know, Mars square Uranus is a very crawling out of your skin kind of feeling. It's very like abrasive, tumultuous, like I want to get shit done. I want to go now. Let's like now, like aggressive. I want to make shit happen, but you can't, right? It can be a lot of unexpected feelings coming up, like so you have an interaction with someone and you didn't realize, like, whoa, that's really fucking with me a little bit. So, you know, this is going to require, again, some stillness and some patience. So, you know, be prepared for that and just take your time with it. And we have Jupiter, which is trine Mars, which sort of helps that energy out a little bit. You know, Jupiter, of course, is our belief systems, and it's in its home sign, so Jupiter is pretty potent there, and it's less than a degree away from the Great Awakener. So Jupiter is really just like in your face, just like, man, let's look at our belief systems. Let's make things happen. Let's understand how to take this energetic process to manifestation and make it and make it a system, so that we can duplicate it and replicate it every single time. And Mars in the fifth house, Mars likes being in the fifth house in Leo. It's like, let's go, all right, you know, it's our heart space, but it can also get to the point where it's like, you know, we can get a little arrogant, we can get a little too confident, we can get a little, you know, rambunctious, and you know. So I think the Pluto Saturn South Node stuff going on down there is going to keep us in check. But if we try to go with that impulsive energy, it's gonna hit right back. So, you know, be good to yourself. Chances are, I know for me personally, I've been feeling a lot of fatigue with this, and you know, headaches, body aches, and you know, whenever I do, like, of course, like I'm big on exercise, but you know, sometimes like when I go in the gym and like I'm feeling like maybe, okay, I try something out and I start moving and my body's just like, nope, fuck you, it ain't happening. So I'll switch it up. Okay, so you know, instead of wanting that, you know, drive to go through and try doing anything I can to do it, you know, let's not go to that extent. Let's take a step back and make it okay to just like chill out or do something different, you know, instead of lifting weights, go do yoga or just stretch or, you know, even like meditate, go sit in a sauna, something like that. Right. Listen, the key is to listen to your body. Cause right now, especially with Pluto and Saturn are very physical. They're very, like when these energies come through you, it's very palpable. You know, Pluto to me is also sort of symbolizes like that Kundalini awakening kind of energy. And when that shit wakes up, bam, it can, if your body is too out of balance and or your mind is too out of balance, because with every imbalance, there's an emotional foundation to it, right? So this Pluto energy is going to blast right through you. And if it's too imbalanced, that's where disease states can occur, all right? Even psychosis, things like that. So we want to be really feeding ourselves, you know, good, nutritious foods, feeding ourselves good, nutritious, you know, information, like not watching the news. Like it's all the same shit. It's I swear, TV nowadays and the news, it's like teenagers on the playground just having a bitch fight. It's insane. It's ridiculous. Like, grow the fuck up, okay? We need to fix shit. We don't need to be arguing or pointing the fingers or blaming. Who cares whose fucking fault it is? Let's just do better. Let's just be good, right? And that's what this whole Saturn-Pluto conjunction, conjunction 2020 is all about. It's about weeding out all the corruption, all the greed, all the power-hungry, nasty gross underbelly bullshit. Like, been hearing a lot about like this like, what was it called? Sex with kids and stuff like that. Like molestation, like the sex trafficking with children, and all these big time celebrities and politicians and everything it's fucking disturbing. That's Pluto though. That's the stuff that nobody wants to know about, and it's coming out. So that's at a collective level and an individual level. So, you know, you might as well just air your dirty laundry, because it's going to come out whether you like it or not. Okay? And that's where this is gonna identify if you are being true to yourself and true to your soul or not. Okay? So whatever happens, learn from it. We have to be brutally honest. And we're gonna go ahead. Take a deep breath and just let it simmer. Right? Let all this information just sort of sit in there, and don't try to analyze it. Don't try, just feel it. All right? Feel it. When you feel it, you know what feels right, and you know what feels wrong. So if something feels wrong, go the other way. If you keep it simple like that, you'll be fine. Okay? And everybody that's watching this has the ability to do that. So do it. All right? I wish you nothing but positivity and blessings, my friends. If you like this content, or actually please comment below with your experiences with this lunar eclipse, or any questions you have. If you would like a reading from me, please go to my website, trinityfitnessastrology.com, and please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. I'll see you guys on the next video.